Well, despite many outcalls for it to happen, DICE is pushing full forward. They are going to be releasing this game in less than, let's see, carry the 2 divided by 4, less than 2 weeks. I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. The game comes out on the 12th. I know it's early access, but what you get on the 12th and what you get on the 19th is pretty much going to be the game. So we've got less than 2 weeks till this game comes out. And yeah, it's been a roller coaster to say the least. From the huge hype that we had at the beginning of the reveal of this game and everything to the, well, let's just be perfectly honest here, very divided community when it comes to the open beta and how that whole pile of flames went and everything, to a lot of actual good information coming out these last few days. And one of the biggest ones that a lot of people have been waiting for, and to their credit, it's actually a good reason to be hyped, is Portal. And with DICE now having just dropped a bunch of information, let's take a look at it. What's going on, everyone? Tallen here with 59 Gaming Direct, and today we're going to be going over all of the brand new information that came with Battlefield Portal here and the huge blog and information that DICE just revealed. They had a small trailer. You've seen it in the background right now. Go and check it out, but it's basically just gameplay showing Battlefield 2042 style game versus the old insert whatever version of the game is here. If you guys don't know what Portal is, let's give it a quick breakdown real quick. Basically, what it's doing is it's taking Battlefield 3, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 1942, and throwing not only maps, but simply the equipment, the classes, everything, you name it, into this experience. And you, the player, are going to be given the tools to basically make whatever type of game mode you want, what kind of rotations, what kind of modes, you name it. This is going to be everything simple that you've known from past experiences where it's like, hey, I don't want to have vehicles spawning too fast, or hey, I want half the tickets, or hey, I want a hard mode. This is going to be doing that and infinite amounts more. It is absolutely ridiculous. This is what everyone is excited about. The main game, sure, people are excited about it. Hazard Zone, maybe, not really sure. We've only seen a trailer. Portal, on the other hand, if this delivers exactly what they are saying it will on day one, not only will this probably save Battlefield 2042, and by the way, when I say save, I don't mean the game's gonna get dumpster fire or anything like that. I just simply mean there is a lot of stuff that still needs to be fixed with this game, and why a lot of people wish that it was delayed by about 6 months, give or take, but it's gonna make this game like relevant for a very long time, because with this basic creator, it's going to allow us to not only make our own favorite servers, there are gonna be tons of different game modes and everything that people are gonna be able to make as well. Not to mention all those people saying that this game is gonna die without a BR. Yes, I'm looking right at you. You know exactly who I'm talking about. Technically, we could make it with this. There's going to be somebody out there who is going to take the time and learn everything they can about Portal with everything that is given to us, and they're probably going to find a way to make it, and DICE will not have to put any resources into it, and they can keep funneling more resources into Portal, which then give us more resources to make something even better. That's pretty cool in my personal opinion. I'm personally really looking forward to Portal for many different reasons. But first off, before we get into that, let's just quickly go through all the information they gave us. Starting off, they have finally given us an actual look at what Portal is actually going to look like. So as you can clearly see here in the photo, we are going to be given the 3 versions of the game that we have already talked about before. Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2, still the best game in my opinion, and Battlefield 3. And down below, they're showing you by experiences, all Conquest Large, Conquest Rush, custom game modes, the whole 9 yards. You're able to see right off the bat that they're going to have some of these servers to start off in the beginning. Now, they've already stated beforehand that when this originally releases, then they're going to have some of these custom servers in there already, test out and everything like that. And then after that, you can go in, and if you want, you can create something completely from scratch, or you can take some of these modded game modes already, or modded servers essentially, as a basis, and then you can go ahead and be like, okay, I want to modify this even more now. And the nice thing that's going to be really fun about this is the fact over time, as people learn more and more about this, some of these servers are going to be so populated and so popular that they're going to become basic standards essentially. And it wouldn't surprise me in the near future, like let's say 2 games down the road, so I'm talking like 7 years into the future, something like that, that the next Battlefield game or 2 Battlefield games from now could be using stuff that we make from Portal, which is absolutely amazing. Quick side note right here as well. Everyone, for the most part, does not like the specialist system in Battlefield 2042. Now, I have seen the argument that it should not be our job to fix what DICE is refusing to do, but let's be perfectly honest here. Specialist system for 2042 is basically meant to bring in money with cosmetics and everything, and it's a way for them to, you know, probably allow them to do some of this stuff. Now, again, I am just taking a wild guess here, but based off of what we've seen, and, you know, as usual, DICE is going to follow the trends, or EA is, when it comes to, hey, this game made buttloads of money, we need to make buttloads of money too. Guess what? This is what's going to happen here. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason the specialist system exists. But the nice thing about Portal is that you can completely get rid of it. You can. And who knows, maybe down the line DICE will go back in, because let's be honest, is also system, it's baked into the game pretty heavily. This is not a one line of code fix. This is going to be huge changes that's going to take lots of time to do. So maybe down the road they will eventually change how the specialist system works and everything. But for now, with Portal, you can say bye-bye to those and just use Battlefield Bad Company 2 classes if you want to, or Battlefield 3 classes, or Battlefield 1942 classes, whichever one fits your playstyle. You can do that. Regardless of how you might feel about us making the changes, guess what? We get to make the changes, and it's going to be awesome as long as the servers are able to handle it, that is. So it should be pretty cool to see what's going to happen here. But anyway, let's get back to all the information real quick. The following modes are going to be available in Portal are going to be as followed: Conquest Large, Conquest Rush, Free For All, and Team Deathmatch. Now, all of these, as you can see right here, are going to be the very basics that you start with when it comes to the core game mode that you're having in your server. Then from there, we're going to start going down the list, basically. Going on from there, we're going to have map rotations, so you can either pick all the maps. So you have to keep in mind, though, that you can have both a combination of all the 2042 maps and these classic maps as well. So that's obviously going to make more maps. Or you can say bye-bye to the 2042 maps if you don't like them. Or if you don't like some of the classic maps and you only like half of the 2042 maps, you can do whatever you want. Put whatever maps in rotation you want. You want a 24-hour server on one map? By all means, go ahead. You want to have half these maps on Conquest and then have the others on Rush, or however you want to make it? By all means, go ahead. You're allowed to do that, basically, which is really cool. So again, whatever maps you particularly like, you can go in here. And they also, the cool thing about this is that over time with the community, if they like what you have made, or people say that, hey, look, this map is good, this map is bad, those ones are going to be the popular ones that you're going to find within the server browser and everything. So it's going to be really cool to see that type of thing. One thing that we do need to keep in mind, though, when it comes to these map layouts is that DICE here has laid out what types of maps there are in terms of large, medium, and small layouts. So small layouts are going to be kind of a good majority of the maps, or only certain sections of particular maps. Medium layouts are going to, you know, cover exactly what it sounds like. So things like Caspian Border. You know, it's really funny. I have to say this as a side note, that Caspian Border is now considered a medium-sized map compared to when it was originally launched back in Battlefield 3. It's just like, oh yeah, Caspian Border, and it's kind of a medium-ish map. It's just like, oh, nope, it is what it is. And then we have our large layout maps. Now, the large ones are obviously going to be the 2042 maps, because these things are gigantic. 128 players. However, do keep in mind for one thing, though, because they laid this out, though. Again, small maps, medium maps, and large maps. They make a little note down here. Large maps are not available on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One's editions of Battlefield 2042. Now, this isn't to say that the Battlefield 2042 maps are not available within Portal on those editions, because as you can see, they are. There's renewal right there. There is renewal right there. We already know that the older gen versions of this game are not having the 128 players. And if you played the beta, then you know that the map was obviously smaller than it was on current gen / PC. So what this is saying that is that you cannot do the quote unquote large maps, because they cannot support the 128 players on those older gen systems. It's actually very similar, I believe, to how it was titled back with Battlefield 3. When Battlefield 3 was released on PC and then on the PS3 and the Xbox and PS3 could only handle 24 players at a time. They could not do 64, whereas PC could. And I remember seeing that the title for those maps would always say Conquest Large because that's what it was on PC, but obviously on PS3 and Xbox, it did not have that. So just keep that in mind that there. It's not saying that Portal is not going to have these maps on your current version of the game, because I know a lot of people do not have the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S, but simply the large version of those are not going to be available. So just keep that in mind right there. Once you've gone ahead and picked your maps, this is where it just gets absolutely crazy. This is going into all types of details. You can do everything from maximum players, the per squad character limit, the reinforcement removes per kill, everything. This is where the details really start to come in handy, because you're going to start seeing things like hardcore mode availability. You're going to be seeing the type of damage you can do, friendly fire, global damage multiplier, everything that you're going to start seeing here. Aim assist, zoom snaps. So maybe if you want to have a little bit more on, say, a particular type of console version of this server compared to the PC or anything like that, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. The more I think about this and the more I'm trying to read this to you guys right now, it just shows that there's going to be an abundant amount of stuff that we can do here. It's not like, you know, oh, I can go in and I can take this building out of this particular area and swap it in with something else. No. We're basically never going to have that when it comes to Battlefield games. DICE has made that pretty clear. But in terms of how we want to build the server, tickets, gun damage, everything, we are going to be able to do that here now with Portal. So sorry if I'm sounding like a little bit of a fanboy, but it's kind of re-sparking my excitement for this game, because after the beta, as a lot of people probably have also, it's kind of been up in the air. I mean, we're going to be covering it here on Five Night Gaming Direct, which, by the way, you should totally sub to the channel if you haven't already, so that you can get all of our reviews and everything with it. It's interesting. A lot of people were not very hyped for it after the beta. Portal is basically going to be the fix for it. It pretty much is, and probably what most people are going to be playing, which, if you don't know already, though, all of your experience and everything that you could get just playing the normal Battlefield 2042, you can get that in Portal. It's not like you're barred from your experience or anything like that, or unlocking stuff. You get that all while playing Portal stuff. Portal is basically the server browser normal Battlefield 2042 is going to be. The more and more you keep scrolling through this entire blog, though, you're going to start seeing things like the AI that you can go ahead and tweak, which is mostly referring more to the giant maps and everything. As you can clearly note here, that PlayStation 4 and Xbox One's editions will not have that, but the AI stuff is going to be definitely interesting. Hopefully we can make it a little bit more tough, because they're basically fodder at this point. It's like easy kills, essentially, if you played the beta and everything like that. But you can go ahead and change out how fast vehicles come into the game and everything. You can go ahead and change how many vehicles you want on the stage. It's just endless possibilities, essentially. And then they go ahead and throw this at us. Yes, you're going to be able to not only limit or say how many weapons are in this game or in your server, you can also go ahead and change the ammo type and how much damage is done. It's absolutely ridiculous. What attachments can be coming into your server, what modifiers and everything. It is absolutely ridiculous what you can go ahead and do here with this Portal mode. It's absolutely crazy, guys. It's crazy. And like, I'm terrible when it comes to making custom servers and games and all this stuff, but I can just see the possibility that some of these people are going to be able to make within the community and be like, yeah, guess what? I can do this now using this tool here. And you're just like, whoa, this is really cool. The last bit of information to go over is the actual core rule set, essentially, that you can go ahead and edit. This right here, what you were looking at, is going to be the top of the line stuff when it comes to what you can customize in your server. This basically right here is what's allowing us, or will allow us, to make things like zombie type mode, battle royale, that type of thing. This is what's going to make it possible, most likely, because all of these settings beforehand that we've been talking about in this video, those are your basics, right? We've seen those before. You know, turn vehicles off, don't have vehicles, sprint, non-sprint, crouch, non-crouch, Battlefield 2042 only, Battlefield Bad Company 2 classes only, yada, yada, yada. This right here is where things get absolutely insane. and you can go in and you can do as little as you want, or you can do as much as you want. But you know there are going to be some people out there that are going to be like, huh, I'm going to take my time and learn this, and guess what? I'm going to be able to make this. And those servers, you can tell already, are going to be super popular, and then they're just going to work. They're going to be absolutely amazing. Those are going to be the popular ones, and those are the ones that are going to stick around. And I can see within a year easily that those are the servers that people are going to be floating to all the time. Now, one final thing I do need to talk about before we end this video here, the server that you make, when you make it, you get a share button basically, which allows you to share it with whoever you want. And by the way, you can make this actually in game or on EA's website. You don't actually have to own the game to make a server. You do need to own the game in order to try it out though, so to keep that in mind. But one little note thing that they make here, the server will remain active as long as there's one human player on the server. Once that's no longer true, the server will shut down. Be sure to share your experiences with your friends if you're keen to keep the server active and searchable for friends to join. Now, personally, when I read that, I get it on one hand, because you don't want millions of people going in, making all these servers, and they just stick around forever, right? It's impossible for them to probably keep that up, is financially and just probably limitedly, essentially. But what I'm hoping, and this is one of those details that hopefully they'll be able to elaborate on a little bit, is that if a human player is not in the server anymore, so it's technically not around, or aka it's shut down, can you, as the person who made that server, keep that playlist or those set rules available, and then you simply just send it out again in, say, the next 24 hours or whatever, right? Because obviously somebody's not gonna be able to be on the server 24/7 in the very beginning. So it's almost like saying, hey, we need to wait a little bit, and then we'll be able to be, you know, populated 24/7 or something like that. We'll have to wait and see exactly what that means though, but it would just really suck if someone made this amazing game mode and everything, nobody jumps into it, whether it's because, you know, hey, the servers just happen to go down at the right same time, or everyone's asleep in that particular area or something like that, right? So hopefully there's like a 24-hour grace period or something like that, where they'll be able to, you know, the server will be available in search bars and everything like that. And then if it does happen to go away, fine, but also at the same time, if you're able to keep that share feature and just be able to share it out again, awesome, that'd be perfect. Other than that, everyone, that's basically all the details we have for Portal here. I have not been able to even scratch the surface of what is going to be available. I mean, again, clearly the blog is here to show you every little bit of details and everything. It's a long one. It is a very long blog with a lot of different details and everything, and people are going to be finding out new things and how things work every single day once this game comes out. So again, make sure you sub to the channel if you happen to be new, or if you want to catch our review of the game. I'm going to be getting early access to it on the 12th because I pre-ordered the game for you guys so I can review it and make sure to let you guys know whether it's good or bad. There could still be some bad parts to it. I'm not going in here blind fanboy or anything like that. We'll have to wait and see exactly what's going to happen with this game. It might be a game that you simply wait for a while, but I'm definitely looking forward to Portal. And I know a lot of people who hate the specialist classes, they're just gonna go back to the normal classes because, hey, Portal's allowing you to do that. So we'll have to wait and see what's gonna happen. So anyway, guys, I've been Tallen with 5 Gaming Direct here. Make sure you like the video if you happen to enjoy it. Sub if you happen to be new, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Johnny.